So this video is going to review some of the 2D measurement that you have learned in the past. So this question here is asking you to find the perimeter and area of the triangle. The first thing that we're going to do is write down our formula. So we always write formula first. So perimeter of a triangle, the formula is just side plus side plus side, or you could say add all sides. And then we're going to show our work. So we're going to have 6.2 plus 8 plus 5, and then we're going to add those up and have our answer with units. So every time we are doing measurement questions, we always want to have a formula, our work, and an answer with units. And then let's try area. So again, we're going to write down the area. The area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. In this case, the base is 5 and the height is 6.2. We're going to divide that by 2. And I'm just going to do the calculation of that. And I'll get 15.2. Now, be very careful here. Sorry, 15.5. Be very careful here. The units for area are always your unit squared. So make sure for perimeter, it's your unit, and for area, it is units squared. So that's just a quick review of triangles. So let's look at a question like this, which is a little bit different. So we've got triangles, and we also have a trapezoid inside of that. So when we have area of a shaded region, we need to think about finding the area of the whole region and then the area of the part that's shaded, and we can subtract. Or you could also, in this case, if you wanted to, you could use the formula for a trapezoid and find the area of just that. So I'm going to show you both options. So if you're doing sort of the shaded region type option, we can find the area of the rectangle. And the formula will be base times height. And so in this case, that will be 9 times 5, and we get 45. And then you can find the area of the triangle, which will be base times height divided by 2. In this case, it'll be 5 times 5 divided by 2, or 12.5. And then to get the total, or sorry, to get the shaded, area of the shaded, you can just do the rectangle minus the triangle. And you're going to get 32.5. And then don't forget your units, centimeters squared. So that's your final answer for the area of the shaded region. Alternately, in this case, if you wanted, you could use the formula of a trapezoid. So the formula of a trapezoid is area is base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times the height. And base 1 and base 2 just means the length of, so here the length of one of the bases and the length of the other base. So kind of like the top and the bottom. So in this case, this piece here, actually I'll color it in green. To get that, you have to do 9 minus 5, because this whole thing is 9 and this piece is 5. So that piece is going to be 4. So we're going to have 4 plus 9. And our height of our trapezoid, so this blue part here, is the same as the height of the rectangle, which will be 5. And when we calculate that, so you don't have to show all your work for this part. You can do the steps in the calculator. You just need to write down the substitution line. So when you calculate it all, you're going to get 32.5 centimeters squared. So you're going to notice you get the same answer. Sometimes for the shaded region questions, you can't do a second option like this. It just so happened that the yellow part was a trapezoid, and so we could use the trapezoid formula, but sometimes that's not going to be the case, and you're going to have to use this strategy over here, which was area of a rectangle minus area of the triangle. Let's look at one final one, which is a circle. And this is asking for circumference and area. So remember that circumference is just a fancy word for finding the perimeter of a circle. So the formula for that is pi times diameter. And for the purposes of our work, we are always going to make sure that we use the pi button on our calculator. So everybody's calculator will have a pi button, and you just have to find where that is. And then all you're going to do is find the pi button, punch in the pi button, and then times 8 in this case. And it says to round to the nearest hundredth, which means 2 decimal places. So that's going to be 25.13 centimeters. And area of a circle is pi times radius squared. So here we're given the diameter, and the diameter, remember, is the entire distance. What we want to find is the radius, which is just half of the diameter. So the radius is going to be the diameter divided by 2. So in this case, it's going to be 4. So that's what we're going to be using. We're going to be using pi times 4 squared. Again, be careful with how you punch this into your calculator. You're going to use the pi button and then times, and then make sure you punch 4 squared. And when we do that, we're going to get, again, if we round to the nearest hundredth, that's 2 decimal places. So I get 50.2654, blah, blah, blah. So remember that 5 means I need to round up. So it'll actually be 50.27. And because this is area, I have to make sure I do centimeters.